Welcome back to Season 2 of Divine Wisdom Unveiled. My name is Julianne Duffy. Thank you so much for joining me. We are in episode number 5, and with this season, we are diving into each of the astrological signs and pulling your 3, 6, 9, 12 month reading as well as an overall feeling for the year. For episode 5, we are diving into rising and sun sign for the sign of Leo. So let's get into this and find out what you beautiful Leos, what 2025 has in store for you. As I have been doing, I'm pulling from the same cards for each sign. I'm pulling from the Wisdom of Oracle cards by Colette Baron Reed. So we'll jump right in. We're going to start with the first part of 2025, the first quarter. So this would kind of cover January, February, March of 2025. And the first part of your message for 2025, Leos, is fork in the road. So this is really going to be a lot about so you're going to have multiple situations. Like this is going to be where you're going to have those choices, right? It's time to make a decision. Consider the consequences as you prepare to act, owning up to your obligation to make the necessary choices. Every choice has a consequence. You've arrived at a fork in the road, and you are being asked to come to a decision. Will you further your dreams by taking those leaps and, that unknown? Are you going to go choose left, or are you choosing right? Will you take the road less traveled, or the one well worn by others who have come before you? This is your choice, and yours alone to make. Circumstances and other people will not make it for you. Be present and do not avoid this junction, for it is important. It is an important crossroads. Take heart, as no matter which path you choose, you will have a rich and meaningful experience. So you can't choose wrong. However, it's going to be really this fork is are you going on your divine path that's been set ahead, or are you going to do that well-beaten path and have to repeat certain lessons? I feel like that's very much part of this card, because when we finally choose to do something, take that big risk, go into the unknown, we open ourselves up for huge amount of growth. When we take that idea in our mind that it's a secure way, the path that everyone else is taking, and you're following that, you might continue to have to go over the same kind of scenario you've had before. So if you feel like you're repeating things, you've taken that path, you've chosen that. If you're in some new territory, you've chosen that as well. And there's lots to learn, because maybe if you take that well-beaten, repetitive path, this time you're going to learn from it. This time you're going to decide to make a new choice when you get to the end of that learning. If you take that unknown, you're going to learn something as well. Something crazy is going to happen in that direction and on that path. The prosperity message of the fork in the road. You've come as far as you can on this part of your journey, and now you're faced with a choice. So as you come into January, February, March, you are going to have this choice. You're going to have to choose whether you're going to continue the same path you've been on, or if you're going to change direction. Inherent in this choice, I can say that, is the need for change, for evolution, and for bettering of your circumstances. Narrow it down to just a single question. Who do I need to become, and what do I need to believe in order to live a life of prosperity? I'm going to say that again. Who do I need to become, and what do I need to believe in order to live a life of prosperity? Answer honestly and from the heart. Then the decision about which way to go will be effortless. Know that abundance is all around you. Choose to see it, and it'll be easier to settle on a direction, for a way will be made clear by your intuition, which knows how to steer you towards your well-being. So this is going to really be, if you follow your intuition, you're going to be steered down the path of the prosperity, the path of that huge growth. Even if you don't choose that path, you're going to learn a lot, and you're going to learn to possibly, good English, possibly to trust that intuition. You lions, you like to be, leading the pack. So I would say for you, you're going to definitely want to take the path that's less traveled. Really trust that intuition, that instinct. You've got that natural instinct. So it's going to be an interesting beginning of the year as you decide which direction you want to head and where you want to go. And if you're listening to your intuition, you're going to manifest that ability to steer yourself towards the well-being and the prosperity that you really are seeking at this time. So that's where we're going to start at the beginning of the year, is for those sun rising and sun signs of Leo, is you're going to come to this point where you're going to have to make a decision. And my best advice is going to be trust your intuition, trust that gut instinct, choose in alignment with that, and it will be a better option. However, you can't go wrong with either, because you're going to learn no matter if you trust that intuition or not, and you'll probably learn that you need to trust your intuition. I feel like that's really going to be the learning if you decide not to choose your instinct. Let's continue as we jump into the next part of the year. So this is our second quarter, which is April, May, June of 2025. And this part of the message for the second quarter, after you've chosen the fork in the road, is to breathe. So this is really about that intuition and trusting. So if you've already chosen that path to trust your intuition, this is going to be a little bit easier. This is definitely about getting in alignment and trusting the guides, right? And also being really patient and taking that moment to stop and look at what's around you. This is going to be important. I know you Leos want to just continue going forward and push. However, as we come to that second part of 2025, it's going to be a time to reflect. Patience, waiting, going slowly, wellness, meditation, and trust. Patient in all things is called for right now. What do you need to do when you're in a rush? Slow down, of course. Meditate and trust. Breathe and repeat. Humans cannot exist without drawing breath. Now is the time for you to do just that and to slow down. Allow the life-giving element of air to replenish your body, your being, and your very essence. Stop and smell the roses. Breathe in the sunlight and release the darkness. Miracles will happen. So if you've been trusting, if you took the road where you're following your intuition, you're going to come to a point where, again, you're going to want to really push to get through this, but it's going to be a time where you're going to have to step back. Really the idea of hurry up and wait. Get into that meditative state. Become in that moment. You know, like I said, smell the roses. It's really, really challenging you to sit back, take that moment, and breathe. With the prosperity of this card, you've worked long and hard. Your dreams are coming to fruition, and you want to hurry things along because you chose the right way with the fork in the road. You are the slow one, moving languidly, yet still progressing right now in a rhythm dedicated to your authentic nature, the essence of your dream, and the will of the universe. Slow and steady wins the race. You will indeed win if you relax, stay the course, trust your intuition, and breathe. So this is really going to take you. This message has come up for a couple of our other signs. When we get into this part, kind of the middle to end of the second, third quarter of 2025, that there's a lot of time where we're going to feel, a lot of us signs and a lot of the sun and rising signs are feeling like they really want to push through, but they're being encouraged to step back and allow things to manifest out for us. It's very important that we take that moment and, again, trust your intuition. Come back to the meditative state. Trust your intuition when you come to the choice at the beginning of the year. Trust your intuition when it's time to hurry up and wait, to slow down, to allow life to catch up with the speed that you want to go to. Because, you know, sometimes we can't push our will in making things go faster. We're going to have to trust divine timing, especially as we come into the middle of 2025. It's all about that divine timing, taking the moments, and maybe stepping back. And like I said, smelling the roses, doing the things that need to do, catching up with things that maybe we got our head and we're up living in a different reality. We have to come back and ground ourselves and get those other things done, right? So that's really where we're starting to go, a middle of the year. and into the summertime. The next quarter, the third quarter of 2025, so that's going into the summer, July, August, and then of course into the early fall, September. Your guidance is, if I can get that flip there, soulmates. So this is going to be about the people that you're around, whether it's really the soulmate in that idea that you're finding a partner. It could definitely be that way, but this is really represents the people, the people that are going to be there to assist you through this time. Harmonious partnerships, love, friendships, companionship, a relationship, fostering personal growth. So as you're coming through, you've chosen, made a choice. Hurry up and wait. Find that moment to trust the intuition, trust the divine timing. And what you're going to have come out is a lot of personal growth with your relationships. You're going to find that you're going to have those deeper, more meaningful relationships if you're taking the right steps and doing that work. You are meant to evolve and transform with the companionship of others. Certain people enter into your life in order to take you to the next level of healing, consciousness, and authenticity. It is always a reciprocal experience. Although the results of each of you will vary, you know these people by the strong pull drawing you towards them, and sometimes by a strong aversion to them initially too. Soulmates can be friends for a lifetime or remain in your life for only a short time. No matter what, you will be changed in ways you can't possibly fathom at this moment. Pay attention to these people today. They are your greatest gifts. So as you're coming into that third quarter, summer into the early fall, those are going to be the people that are going to really assist you in your choice that you've gone. And trusting your intuition, whether you have an aversion to them, whether you're being fully attracted to them and pulled with that internal knowing, these people have a lot to teach you, these soulmates. This is about strategic alliances are most important right now. So getting yourself with those correct people, you're going to be attracted to them. Again, you've been working on the intuition. Hurry up and wait. That intuition's going to start to tingle with these people that come around you. And it's important that you know, as you begin to attract the perfect people to support your dreams, this is a journey you will share with others. Mentors, business partners, helpers, employers, creative partners, friends, and even strangers can open doors for you to step through the portal to join in a harmonic dance of collaboration, commitment, and co-creation. This is what you've been waiting for. So that's what you've been hurrying up and waiting for, is this alignment with the people that are going to assist you in making things happen. So as we go through the first 3 quarters of 2025, you're going to be given some kind of choice. It's going to be an important choice that you're going to make. You're going to need to trust it and be in that moment, breathe through it, smell the flowers, do those grounding activities, be present. The people that you need are going to show up. Those soulmates, those people that you're going to learn from and that they're going to learn from. And specifically, they're going to help you co-create what you need. And it's going to assist you to manifest what you need to do and the dreams you want going forward. So it's a really great beginning of the year. Again, as long as you're trusting your intuition and doing that deep spiritual work, that is going to be very vital, especially at the beginning to the third quarter of 2025. Now, as we jump into the last part of this message, coming into the final quarter, which comes into the fall and early winter. So that is your October, November, December of 2025. Your message is orphaned. Now, don't be put off. Don't be scared. This might seem it's a little dark. And it is a darker card. This one is specifically about, maybe feeling like there's a sense of loss. Your identity isn't matching in alignment anymore. So who you thought you were at the beginning of the year, as you've been going through this change, you've chosen that road. You're manifesting, meditating, trusting your intuition, finding the people around you. These things are triggering you to come to this point where you're going to maybe start questioning who you really are. So how you saw yourself, Leo, may not be the same way by the end of 2025. An identity crisis, recognizing that you don't fit in, that those people you've attracted might be triggering you into this new reality of who you really are. The need to belong and uncertainty about your place. So that might be triggered by the people around you. Again, there's so much to be learned with this. We are all meant to have connections with other people within our family, society, and the larger culture. No man is an island, and it's important to recognize when being a part of rather than separate from is essential to your well-being. The issue at hand is that you need to find where you fit in. So you're going through such a major change with the people you're meeting, with the choice that you chose at the beginning of the year, that now you need to decide and find how you fit in now as this changed person. Be true to your core values and truths. Perhaps you no longer identify with a group or a community the way you did and need to find a new situation. So who you were at the beginning of the year is definitely not who you are now. So maybe through these people you're now interacting with and having this relationship with and building, it's becoming apparent that that old reality, the old people from 2024 and the beginning of 2025, they're not your people. That's not your community. They're not going to be there for who you are becoming and for your success. You might be feeling a deep sense of loss or confusion. Address the needs for belonging and know that you will find your place and the others of like-minded spirit. And I feel like you've already kind of met them and they're really triggering you to see that those old friends, those other people you thought were important, they had a purpose, just like it said with the soulmates. Whether it's there for a lifetime or a short period of time, those people had a purpose, assisted you along this trail. But now these new people are really triggering that those other people don't fit. There's some old energies that you are changing, and you're gonna feel that you need to find your new way in. Trust those soulmates, trust those people that are coming in the third quarter of 2025. They're going to be there to assist you. Address the need for belonging. Know you're going to find your place. It's okay to let go of the pressure to fit in. Not everyone will understand you, and definitely not those that aren't going through this process. If they're not spiritually evolving, Leos, and they are not doing this work intuitively connecting, seeing and opening to all these new people, they're not going to understand you anymore. There's going to be a disconnect. Who you were, you are no longer that. And it's time for you to move on. So as you get to the end of 2025, it's going to be quite apparent that you aren't the same person. You are evolving, and that it's going to be okay to let go of the old people, the old situations, the old belief of who you were, because you have changed so much during 2025. Your growth has gone beyond what you could have imagined. This card, our final card here, Orphaned, reminds you that you can't be all things to all people. You are not going to be popular with everyone, and that has to be okay with you. And we know, Leo, you guys like to lead. You like to be this beautiful lion energy. You are leaders. And because of the changes you're going through 2025, which are so much better, you are growing. And unfortunately, it's probably not going to make you as popular as you thought. And some of the people, like I said, that resonated with you before aren't going to necessarily resonate with you anymore. And that's okay. Be clear about your mission, your brand, your work persona, and your contributions to the world, as these must be based on what is authentic and what you authentically have to offer, not something you think will sell or you perceive they may want. So this is what you're going to find, is that you're going to become so much deeper of a person. You're going through this spiritual evolution, and that prosperity is going to come. And it's going to have to be based on authenticity, on being who you truly are as that lion heart. You will attract abundance by being completely yourself. Stay in your own lane. That's where you will shine and where your experience of prosperity will grow. So, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but that old way of being is going to be gone. by the end of 2025. And this is actually really good. You're going to become more authentic. And when you're doing it with that lion heart, with that truth, that authenticity, you're going to have a huge amount of growth. And it's going to be trusting these people you've met in the later part of the year. They're going to be the people that are going to assist you, whether they're business partners, friends, new relationships, whatever they are. These people are going to be the ones that are going to assist you, and you're going to notice you change, that you're not resonating with the people that you knew back in 2024 or beyond, because you chose that through the fork in the road. You made that choice, and you're spiritually evolving, building that intuition, attracting those people that are going to assist you as you go forward and make that beautiful prosperous change. However, it's going to be tough, and it is always difficult in the end of the year when we get less light and it starts to get colder, for most of the Western Hemisphere. It might feel like, who are you? Well, you know who you are, and it's about shedding and letting go of those old people, those old beliefs, and orphan them. Let them go so you can rise as that new, stronger, beautiful lion that you are, my beautiful Leo sun sign and rising sign. Let's get an overall feeling of what the year really has for you. And your final card, Treasure Island. This is awesome. This is all about the prosperity coming to you, everything being created, everything coming in what you want. The law of attraction brings dreams into fruition. The results of positive thinking made manifest. Abundance appearing as if from nowhere. Financial gains and sharing of good fortune. So even though the end of the year you're going to feel like you don't align with a lot of people anymore and that you may not be popular, the fortune is upon you. This year is very prosperous for you. You've worked hard, you've chosen the right path, you're finding those moments to breathe, manifest, meditate, get that connection. You're building new, stronger relationships than you had before. And so you've worked hard and have acted upon your unwavering belief in abundance. And suddenly, in the midst of all, you hit the jackpot. You have uncovered the map to buried treasure and tapped the unlimited potential within you. What you must hone now is your ability to recognize when X marks the spot, because some of the golden opportunities may be obvious, but others may not be so readily apparent. So really, I feel like this is the orphan card. This is not necessarily apparent that this is probably one of the best things for you. It's a massive treasure for you to go through this change. Trust your intuition to light your way now as you enter this truly prosperous phase where all the long, hard work navigating your inner life is now paying off externally. In all aspects of your life, at this time, you have good fortune. Don't forget to enjoy it, share it with others, as treasure shared multiplies like magic. And I think that's really what it is you're going to have such a beautiful reality going forward because you've changed at a deeper level. You're no longer, whatever was left of surface is gone. And it's going to be, by the end of the year, shedding those surface relationships, people, and ideas. At this time, you can be confident that success is yours. Your ideas are all hitting the mark, and you're in a true manifestation period when you will see evidence of the seeds of prosperity you planted in the past. The appearance of this card in a reading indicates that your dreams and aspirations align with concrete signs of prosperity in the world of form. This is a very auspicious and fortunate time for business. Creative projects will flourish as inspiration strikes. Share your wealth with others, as generosity and gratitude should lead you now. So you're going to have a wonderful year. It's going to be great. There's going to be a lot of change, and you are going to really step into your authentic being. And in the end, you're going to have that. You're going to find all the treasure you need. I'm excited for you, Leo. It's going to be an intense year, but you're going to come out stronger, more alive, and I feel like I can see in my mind like the lion just coming up out of the ashes as this beautiful, stronger, authentic creature that is ruling the world. And not everyone's going to like you, and that's okay. So my Leo's sun sign and rising sign, that is your message for 2025. I intend that this will assist you as you go forward. And please join me as we will dive into our next sign for episode number 6 and continue. And again, please do watch your rising and your sun. If this is your sun, watch your rising. And if it's your rising, go and watch your sun to get a better idea of how 2025 is going to roll out for you. Until next time, have a beautiful day. Namaste.